Good afternoon. My name is Brian Quirke, and I'm Assistant Principal Officer in the Department of Climate, Energy and the Environment's Circular Economy Strategic Policy section. And today I'll be giving an overview of the implementation of Buying Greener actions to date. So just a reminder that Buying Greener, the Green Public Procurement Strategy and Action Plan 2024 to 2027, was published on the 4th of April last year following government approval. And it includes 54 actions and 12 targets to drive green and circular procurement practices across the public sector. Just to highlight some of the key actions that have been delivered to date include, I just want to, first of all, focus in on one particular action that is key in operationalising a number of the actions in the Green Public Procurement Strategy, and that's the publication of the Circular 17/2025. That was published on the 21st of July, led by the Office of Government Procurement, and it replaces the previous Circular 2019. And so basically this sets out a number of the actions in the Green Public Procurement Strategy that are directly applicable to public sector bodies, and they're namely 11 actions that are focused on corporate procurement planning, accelerating GPP implementation in accordance with the mandate in the strategy, built environment actions, training and awareness, monitoring and reporting. And there's other areas of focus in the circular, such as the impact on small and medium enterprises, life cycle costing, use of central procurement arrangements, and socially responsible public procurement and innovation procurement. This document is also accompanied by an FAQ document as well, which is a very useful document to give further guidance. I know Angeline is going to go into further detail around central arrangements, but there is a strong focus in the strategy around the role of centralised purchasing arrangements for including GPP criteria, with a commitment that all published new arrangements around GPP procurement centralised arrangements include GPP criteria where that's possible, and also to make that information online for procurers to see what arrangements include green criteria. And Angeline is going to go into further information in relation to those. Another strong focus in the strategy has been around the national GPP criteria and guidance that have been produced by the EPA. And the EPA first produced this guidance and criteria back in 2014. It was significantly updated in 2021. And then following Buying Greener strategy publication, it was updated again, which updates the current criteria sets at the time, but also new criteria for furniture as well. And then the criteria search tool, which was led by the Office of Government Procurement and launched in 2022. This is a hugely valuable tool to make it easier and easy use of the criteria that's produced by the EPA, by downloading and essentially copying criteria directly into your tender documentation. And that has been updated as well, and that will be updated as new criteria have been developed. And then Martin is going to go into further information as well in relation to the actions that the EPA have been undertaken. The Public Sector Climate Action Mandate 2025, that was published part of the Climate Action Plan 2025, and that includes strengthened GPP obligations, in particular implementing GPP in accordance with the mandate that's set out in this strategy, but also adhering to the circular that I just mentioned earlier on. It also includes other GPP obligations related to construction, organic food waste, ICT equipment, paper, energy-related products, cleaning services. And public bodies that are subject to the mandate are now reporting on an annual basis in terms of the implementation of the mandate obligations, following the comply and explain approach. Another key action for our own department is tasked to consider available options for setting out in legislation mandatory requirements of reporting of GPP by public bodies in relation to the apply or explain principle. And in July this year, the Cabinet approved publication of the Environment Miscellaneous Provision Bill, which includes GPP provisions. And the main objective is to require the reporting on the use of GPP in order for public bodies to demonstrate transparency in implementing GPP policy in line with the comply or explain approach. And essentially, this is going through the various stages of the Oireachtas But what the intention here is that public bodies will need to report reasons why national GBP criteria is not being used, where national criteria is actually available. Just to bring you back to some of the other key actions, just to note as well, that has been in progress or has been delivered since the publication of the strategy includes the establishment of a new framework that allows public bodies to purchase remanufactured laptops, first of its kind in the EU, and a new framework arrangement for recycled office paper. And Angeline will be going into further information in relation to that. The government has approved also public procurement guidance to promote reduction of embodied carbon in construction, and that builds on the objectives of using less concrete and less cement by designing, specifying, managing products on site better, also specifying lower carbon cement, lower carbon concrete, and introducing broader carbon management systems for large infrastructure projects. International partnerships and collaboration is hugely important given the nature of the global supply of goods and services. And Ireland has joined the Circular and Fair ICT Pact, which is an international procurement-led partnership with a remit to accelerate circularity, fairness, and sustainability in the ICT sector. Reporting on implementation is a key focus as well in the strategy, and the EPA have continued their reporting annually on GB implementation by government departments, and the most recent report has shown a welcome increase in the implementation of GBP. A new era reporting the climate action framework commitments, including GBP by commercial semi-state bodies. GBP case studies and today's event is part of the strategy as well, sharing that knowledge and trying to network and share experiences around the implementation of GBP. Training and awareness, again, another strong focus in the strategy, and that there has been a very significant initiative around GBP training that has kicked off this year in the local authority sector, and we're seeing a big demand for training and awareness around green public procurement. And just finally, just want to mention as well that our own department is in the process of preparing a new whole of government circular economy strategy, which again is intended to move the dial again in terms of our transition to a circular economy. And the draft has been made available for public consultation over the last number of weeks, and it's come to its conclusion in terms of the consultation today. But that continues to focus on green public procurement as a strong enabler of transitioning to a circular economy, and there's further information in that link. So just to finish, I just want to highlight some links there in the presentation to further information on green public procurement policy and also the circular economy. That concludes my presentation today, and thank you for your time.